Good evening. I'm Tasso Kyriakis, and I'm joined tonight by Kyriakos Drimonis, president of the St. Demetrios Greek Orthodox Church, and Father Papaiwsifsamaan, our pastor. We'd like to talk tonight about some of the challenges of the coronavirus to us as it comes to the administration and the operation of the church. As you know, we've been shut out of our churches by the edict that has come down to us, and some of us are missing the church, some of us are glad we get a vacation, but those people even need the church at times. So this is a continuous series of Grow, Get Your Religion on Wireless, so that we can talk to you about fulfilling the needs that the church can give you. So Father, in planning this meeting, sent this little reading out to us. It said, "This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified." This crisis has been a worldwide challenge, and during this challenge, people will need to find comfort. The grace that is in the church will be much needed and appreciated by people. Therefore, this is a good time for the church people to make themselves available to be the messengers that will carry the good news to others. It's time for us to be a beacon of God's love. Remember that our mission statement for St. Demetrios is love God, love people, serve our community. So, Kyriakos, you probably have the greatest challenge because you have the greatest number of opinions running around you, the greatest number of phone calls coming to you about people who are hunkered down for better or worse, and the people who are out and they are maybe a little more relaxed in how they approach this. Tell us some of the things that you're doing as president to have us ready so the church is still dynamic and functional in everybody's lives.
Thank you, Tasso. I appreciate the time. First, I'd like to wish everybody out there a safe passage through these challenging times. I hope everyone is doing the steps that they all feel necessary to keep themselves safe. And we obviously look forward to resuming our normal lives. In the meantime, it seems that disruption could take some time. So, as a parish council president, we put some steps in place here to try and help ourselves remain energized, vibrant, as Tasso mentioned. We recently started conducting our meetings on the platform Zoom, so that's a nice shameless plug for them.
Right.
But they've been getting a lot of publicity lately. So we did start doing our meetings on Zoom. We found it to be very effective and still gives us the possibility to conduct the business and the matters at hand that we are facing right now due to this virus. We've had 2 meetings so far, and those have gone well. And then I recently had a meeting with our ministry heads on Zoom as well to unleash the power of that platform to them as well to use for their specific ministries, however they see fit. So we do hope here in the near future that the ministry heads will be able to continue the business of St. Demetrios, so to speak, for lack of a better term, to help us keep our parishioners informed, keep our parishioners engaged, and just to let you know that we're still out there for you. We are making plans, obviously, for our Holy Week. We're planning some to get you crosses for Palm Sunday, and we're working out the logistics right now. We're pretty close to announcing something, and we're also working on something for the Saturday evening service that might be a little bit of a reprieve from all the madness right now, so that everyone can still come and get their church fixed during that evening, because I know it's such an important evening for the church, if not the most important evening of the year, and morning service. So that's what we're working on. Going into the future from there, we'll be talking some more and discussing things with the parish council. We look forward to serving everybody and keeping this thing going. It's been challenging. We're adjusting to the new normal right now, since we don't know how long this will take. And please be on the lookout for emails, YouTube videos, Father Joseph's updates, as we try and keep everybody informed in a new way. The Sunday bulletin emails continue to go out. If you're not receiving those, we have tried to contact everybody to update our email list. If you still haven't been contacted or haven't heard from us, please get in touch with the church or find me directly either on Facebook or or one of those platforms and get in touch with me. Let me know you're not getting it. I'll make sure you guys get on that list as well, so that we can keep you guys all informed about what's going on here at St. Demetrios.
Now, yeah, let's just show them and tell them a little bit, because I think there's some things we know for sure. We know for sure that in some way, shape, or form, on Palm Sunday, our members will receive a palm cross, a synopsis of Holy Week, an icon, and some other opportunities to be involved in the community.
Yes.
Some of them will be mailed, some of them will be delivered, and some will be picked up. But we do know for a fact that some type of package like that is going to go out to those people, so they have something in their hands for Holy Week. And whether Holy Week has 10 people showing up or no people showing up or a drive-in church concept, the parish council is exhausting all sorts of ideas at this point, right?
Yes, and we're keeping the reason we haven't really come out with the final product, so to speak, is we are keeping safety in mind through all this. So we're just reviewing all our safety protocols to make sure that everyone is comfortable with how we roll out these things. But yes,
I wanted to make sure that they knew that there was
Absolutely.
a very definite streamline effect going into.
Of course, yeah,
Okay.
yep.
So, Father, we have God that promises Abraham a nation, and He delivers on that promise. God promises, and we sometimes many people quote and say, "If God is with me, who can be against me?" So this time, the spiritual component seems to be that we've given lip service to the spiritual component, the healing of Christ, and the healing of the church. Tell us a little bit about how the church can service our members at this time through these little grow sessions.
Thank you, Tasso, and I want to take a moment to thank Kyriako for his leadership of the Parish Council. We have been working diligently since this issue came on finding ways to communicate with the Parish Council and the leadership, and we had several meetings over phone and over online. This is actually the first time we are meeting in person after a lengthy period of time where we couldn't be in person. So I want to thank you for all the work that you are doing with the rest of the Parish Council and the leadership. So even though they are not visible to the eye, all these things are taking place. Now, going back to your question, there is something in Greek that says "O kalos kapitanios sti fortuna fenete." The good captain is revealed, or is known, or tested, or proven through the high storms on high seas. So this is an opportunity where we have such a high storm. It's a global, where the church can be shown and proven to be a good captain. And our promise, our message to our parishioners, to our city, to our surroundings, and even all the people that are watching our streams from overseas, because I see many people coming from overseas, not only from within the United States. Our promise to all of them, we are going to raise to the opportunity. And we have many examples from the life of the church, the saints, and the Bible itself, where with very little means, the church was able to respond to great need. And one of them is the 5 loaves.
I was saying the same thing.
The 5 loaves. Jesus, who never says anything without an intention, he asked his disciples, he said, "You feed the crowds." And remember, the crowds were 5,000 men, probably as many as women and children. So we are talking about not just 5,000 people.
Right.
Probably talking about 15,000, 20,000. So the Lord intentionally, when he was asked, he said, "You feed them," which is a situation like this. We, with the meager elements we have, he said, "You go and you minister to the people." And the disciples will say, "Well, we have only 5 loaves, we have 2 fish." But with the blessing of the Lord, with the divine grace, not only they fed the multitudes, they collected so many baskets where each of the disciples had to pick his own basket, and the Lord made that point to show them not only the church can serve them with a meager means, but there will be a surplus of grace.
You know, we're in a time, Father, where the church is deemed non-essential in many ways by the government, but we have liquor stores that are deemed essential in some states. So we look back on that and we see no logic in what's being done in many ways. And by no means do we advocate that people should be carefree about this. There are various great guidelines for people washing your hands. We talked with Dr. Mike Papaiwsifsamaan about how to eat during this period of time to maximize your immune system. And from a science standpoint, I want to talk very briefly about what we call the terrain. We know Louis Pasteur got us to understand that germs cause disease. But Pasteur had a battle raging at that time, and the guy he had the battle raging with talked about the terrain was important. Someone can go eat, we can all three go to eat someplace together. And when we eat, we go and we eat, and one of us gets sick and the other two don't. What was the difference? We ate the same meal. What is the difference is the terrain, the strength of the immune system and how it handles it. And this is so important for us to understand from Dr. Mike's presentation the other night of eating the right foods, but also the strength of the body is also the mindset, the spiritual connection, and then the health of the body cellularly is going to be involved in that. So that's a little off the topic for tonight, but I wanted to get that in there. And I wanted to also, Kyriakos, I wanted to tell people that the reason for starting the series with you is that we have a tradition of great leadership in this church. We have people who have sacrificed from the Forrests to Papaiwsifsamaan to Carpedinas, names that many of our people have no knowledge of who they are. That they took that little house on Cyprus and they brought it to what it is here today. We have great Philokimo in this community. There's never been a clergy laity run like the one we ran when Father Nick Lanasakis was here. Not because we did a greater job than anybody else, but because of the Philokimo that was here. And this is the time for every single parish member to step up into the ministries, to reach out, not to be asked to come help, but to reach out to ministries and say, how can I help the church be dynamic? And I think that's the emphasis of what we want to get across.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tasso. I mean, it's important to note back the history that we came from. I have exceptionally big shoes to fill, and I don't ever foresee myself filling them to the role that some of our previous leadership did with starting from those meager beginnings. But we are in the position that we are, and we do need to forge ahead. And we do need to realize that the church is a huge part of our lives, and we need to continue that. Even if it is within the comfort of our own home right now, we must realize that there still are some people out there that need that outreach, that need that support. And that's basically, why we came up even with our mission statement this past year, and why we've come up with those things, just to remind people, to energize people about forging ahead, even in the times of difficulty, and making sure that we keep the flame going. So,
I don't know who might think or who thinks or who believes that the church is unessential. I know from the people that I get contacted by, there are many people in the medical field, first respondent, that are looking for prayers for them, or people to pray for them, or are looking for the leadership of the church to do certain things for them, or for their families, or for their children, be it spiritual, be it emotional, be it tangible. I told several people that on Wednesday evening, when we have the Papaiwsifsamaan service, we have a special petition in the Papaiwsifsamaan service for the first respondent and for the nurses and for the doctors. So the church is essential because when the fatigue takes over and their emotions are high, what is going to help support them but the grace of God? So from that perspective, I think when people discover that, they will realize that the church is more essential than what they first thought.
Well, Father, you have a vision of the church that you say that the St. Demetrios community, how it stands, is very similar to Theodore Kuipers. Kuipers wanted this to be a cathedral. He wanted it to stand out. Your analogy is not as a cathedral, but as a fortress to defend our people. It's the only church within 60 miles each way, right?
Sometimes more.
Sometimes more. So I think that the one thing we have to understand is, just like Kediako said, we came from meager beginnings. We've done remarkable things with very great faithfulness. It's time to continue that. It's time for everybody in our community to come together, ask how you could help and support, and be willing to be involved. Anxiety and fear are out there, and all that can do is put you into darkness. So, Father, the perfect thing to do is, so we stay on time, how about we end with a prayer for all the people who are affected, and to take away the fear and anxiety that so many people have at this point, and end our session tonight.
Let us pray to the Lord. Lord, have mercy. Lord Jesus Christ, our God, you are the safety, the safe refuge, the haven of your people. You were the one that rescued Peter when he took his eyes off from you and he was drowning in the storm. We ask you, Lord, to come to the aid of all your people throughout the entire world that are suffering from anxiety, fear, uncertainty, depression, or whatever else that is oppressing them. And those especially that might have forgotten and they have taken their eyes of you, to remind them that you are the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end, and you are the one that existed before, you are the one that exists during, and you are the one who will exist unto the ages of ages. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.